The present day Aunt Genosha kind of hinting at Gambit getting resurrected to be one of Apocalypse's four horsemen of death.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that those three characters didn't get shown, 3 + 1 equals 4.
Wait, Wolverine's been a horseman.
Yeah. Morph, Wolverine, and
Storm just went through a whole walkabout experience. Morph is always like the sinister stuff. I mean, that could work.
Welcome back to the break room. X-Men 97 might be over, but we still have questions, okay? In fact, you might say we have lingering questions. Hit that graphic. Really, it's almost like dangling questions, the way that thing kind of comes down.
Michael Fassbender's Magneto, absolutely.
Come on. Hey, yo!
Yeah. He did it, not me this time. I just wanted to be established.
I was waiting for you to.
Joining me today on this panel, that will not be the last dirty joke you hear. I'm, of course, Zach Huddleston, but I'm thrilled to be joined from right to left. We've got Jay Washington is here.
Hey.
Brandon Barrick is here. And Coy Jandreau is here. Also, our live chat is playing along today, sending in subs and bits for the return of the not chaotic at all Marvel Top Trumps trivia cards. So we might get some MCU trivia in as well. We already answered a few of those on stream, and we'll probably get some more in during the YouTube show. But let's kind of begin just with a quick reaction. Brandon was on the Inside Marvel After Show yesterday talking about his thoughts on the finale. But Jay and Coy, big picture thoughts on how the first season ended?
They took so many arcs from various runs, as well as taking Marvel vs. Capcom, and gave it to you in this olden style mixed with a new anime version, and just blew you away every single episode. It literally just kept elevating to the end, to the point where it did like the old series used to do. When something big would happen, to be like, to be continued, and you're like, hey, no, give it now. So I loved it, man. I say all that to say that. It was phenomenal. I could say 1,000,007 different things. I just want more X-Men.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
I thought, to speak on just the finale, that the way this series escalated was really clever, and that if you're a casual X-Men fan or have just seen the movies or just know the characters, it did a really good job keeping you invested and having your really nerdy fans go, oh, that's coming, and then kind of misleading us nerds. Like, I really enjoy that it was so clearly made for both parties. People that casually knew the X-Men and then people that thought they knew what was coming got misled more. This really felt like the first time in years someone was as nerdy as the viewer, and they did the opposite of like, don't read the comics, it'll confuse people. They read the comics so much, it misled us. The Onslaught mislead, the way they did Operation Zero Tolerance just for a second, the way it bait and switched us by having effectively 60 comic book issues condensed down to 10 episodes, and then allowed you to not know that it was going to land with Ascani's son. It allowed you to not know whether or not Nathan was Strife or Cable, whether or not they're going to go with the Storm stuff we're going to talk about, which timeline. So the whole thing kept you guessing if you're a fan, but if you were just, a civilian, it got you to want to read those comics. And I thought it was really inspiring that it felt like a love letter to comic fans that wasn't alienating to the average viewer. And I think this is probably the best adaptation of X-Men we've ever seen.
Wow, better than Dark Phoenix?
I mean, close. It is close.
You mean Charles with his legs? Gee, please.
X-Men Origins Wolverine really almost took the mantle, but in this case, I'm going to give it. No, I think the finale was exceptional.
Yeah, and I think off of what Coy was saying there, like a show that did so much every episode, and there was like this building momentum. I feel like they kept squeezing more plot as the episodes went in, but finding ways to surprise us, right? Like even as this episode was going, and it felt like kind of this comic book adaptation story we've seen a lot, where the head-to-head with the big bad comes in the third act, and they got to team up, and the power of friendship must defeat him, or whatever. And then they subvert that a little bit, right? And they goes over here when you don't expect it, and you think it's going to be a happy ending with Magneto waking back up. Ooh, but now we're over here, right? Like, it was really a show that I felt like was always keeping me on my toes.
Even with the post-credit scene, spoiler alert, I can say that in that spoiler alert.
That's fair.
I hope so.
To know, like you said, to know that they're in the future, and everybody assumes it's probably not Nathan, regular Nathan Strife. Then you get the past where you get in Sabanu, you got fucking Apocalypse right there. You see the spirit, you're like, wait, are we doing the Celestials? Are we doing KANG? Then you get another issue where you got Apocalypse on the moon in Genosha, and what does he pick up?
Yeah.
The card. And then they brought it back to the most trying episode of everything with Gambit's death. And everybody kept asking, was Gambit gonna come back? And that lets you know, if you know the comics, what's about to happen. And it may happen with more than one character if you know. Because 2 X-Men that are currently there become horsemen of the apocalypse.
And one's pretty injured.
And that's how he becomes a horseman. So it's a possibility we could get that, and just that anticipation is what makes everybody like, yo, where are they going? Where are they going?
I also want to give some credit to the Avengers moment that happened. Not specifically the Cap Tony, but the fact that this finale effectively did what 2012's Avengers did, in that it showed us what the universe would feel like connected, because we had all these 90s cartoons and there were crossovers, but we never had anything to this scale. We zoomed out to the macro a few times where like Spider-Man would come in or the Fantastic Four would come in, but there was never a unifying force like the Avengers was. I remember when the Avengers came out in 2012, that connecting shot felt so revelatory because we hadn't seen anything quite like it. We'd seen ideas of crossovers in single moments, but this confirmed that all of those 90s shows were one universe. And I think that's really important looking forward, because now this is a backdoor pilot to get Spider-Man 98 back, to get Fantastic Four back, to potentially go forward with different shows, making a completely separate Marvel TV animated universe. As Marvel's restructuring, this doing as well as it did might give us a completely parallel universe that can connect all these characters in a really unique way.
Say the show. Cloak and Dagger. Look, Cloak and Dagger didn't get the respect it deserved as a live action series.
Yeah, Hulu was so good.
It was so good. If you have not watched it, I encourage you to watch it. To see Cloak and Dagger in the animated version and putting in work was just one of the biggest like pops for me.
Also, the fact that we got a kind of closure for the Spider-Man animated series.
Yeah.
What's tricky though is, right, so if you remember
No,
Spider-Man,
don't do that. Don't
Spider-Man
do that.
back in the day. No.
Don't do this.
The chronology doesn't work, Jay.
Don't do this.
You go back and you look at their outfits. It is clearly from the Spider-Man series.
Yes,
that
back in the Fox
ended in
day. And then
1998.
at the
But when
end,
it ended in 98, Mary Jane was lost in time.
Yeah,
This
he
show takes
gets
place
her.
in 97.
He gets her.
Therefore, they're still lost.
But you're not changing up for entire wardrobes every year. You
No,
know
but
what I
that
mean?
means the last outfit they saw her
You
in
have a closet
takes place
full
in
of
a
the
year.
same outfits.
That's right.
The
You're a
last
cartoon
outfit takes
character.
place
I
a year in the future.
I know
Closure,
the
not
commenters
closed.
are going crazy with me and
just
Coy
letting them
arguing
know.
back and forth about this.
Jay thinks closure. I think TBD.
Mary Jane has a Zuckerberg wardrobe.
She does,
Okay?
real
It's just
capsule
the
wardrobe.
Same outfit every day.
She's
And
time.
Parker has 2 outfits, the polo and
Doesn't have
then the
time.
one jacket. But I think Mary Jane's still lost.
So yeah, we want to, and again, thoughts on any of those comments, throw them in the chat. We'll get to them. We have some of the big questions that were asked in previous videos we're gonna get to. Real quick, I just want to, you guys just kind of alluded to them very briefly. Also, the cojones of a show. To take, I think everybody would agree, the most famous X-Men and put them on ice for the finale.
The whole finale.
Be like, we don't. Hey, you know what? We know we've got Steph Curry on the bench. You know, but the other
But they kind of done that the whole season, though, when you think about it, really.
and
more
I've
like
seen
the
people
comics.
comment. I've seen people comment like, "Oh, there's not enough Wolverine in this season or whatever." It's like, man, because they've got so much story
Yeah,
to
the
tell for
24-year
everybody
run.
else.
He's still got a movie coming out
and
this
I like
year.
that. We've had plenty of Wolverine and X-Men, adaptations.
Even the original cartoon was so much Wolverine. And so now to have him just be laid out, just bleeding, which is the best one. I was like, oh man, they ain't telling people, everybody, look, he don't heal. And for Scott to lean over and say, don't you break her heart.
Yeah.
Now, real quick, I think everybody's assuming he's referring to Jean Grey.
Yes, he is.
Jubilee's standing right there. Do we think there's any chance that he's referring to Jubilee?
I would love for the camera to show how Evan broke down laughing when you said that, because there was no chance.
She cares too, right? It would break her heart.
And also,
too.
it's the most simp ass thing of what simp ass Scott Summers does.
Yeah.
Don't you break my wife's heart?
Well, he's kind of.
Don't you do this? Don't you?
He's got a couple side pieces cooking right now, right? He's got Madeline.
Technically, his main piece was his side piece the whole time.
The whole time.
He's like, he's got his baby mama, and he's like,
Baby
He knows
dead.
Emma Frost
well,
is doing okay.
Jean was dead too, and look who
Yeah,
came back.
that's
Okay,
fair. That's fair.
so like Madeline could come back, and then like he's just met Emma Frost, right? So it's like that's gonna
smart.
start.
Psychics love him.
That's
She's
gonna start
sparkly.
booking up. Yeah, she's a sparkly.
Diamonds
lady.
are forever.
Yeah, and now he's gone to the future, and he'll find out like Rachel's last name is Summers, and he'll be like, whoop, sorry,
I've been
can't-
skiing
whoop,
everywhere.
sorry.
I mean, it's just, I hate that.
Yeah, poor Scott.
I get that line though. Don't you break her heart. Do what you do best. Heal. He could have said anything else before that. Like, look, I heard that you had a chance to bone my girl, and you was like, you're Scott Summers' girl. I'll make that all pass away. You come back to it.
I think they go Krakoa, man. They got a little fun time with the three of them. They go full
They
challenge.
won't do that in 90.
I want
challengers.
Jeans and Day to live her
I
best
just want
life.
to point out, I've always had an issue with the term love triangle, okay? Because a triangle, right, each point is touching both the other points.
Oh, no, that's what
Often
happens.
people are using love triangle to be like, oh, one woman has two men interested. It's only a triangle if the men are also touching. You know what I'm saying? That's a triangle. Otherwise, you have a love straight line.
Also,
I
how
think
do you,
Wolverine's healing factor is going to be pretty useful for that.
here's
optic
my
lasting
thing. How
effect.
do you do that if you Scott? Like, don't you get sweaty and it slip off mid? You got to be like,
Keep your
hey,
eyes
give it
closed.
back. Give
That's
it
why
back.
the healing factor is useful.
Wait. You guys open your eyes during sex?
Well, when there's a pyramid, that's also another word for diamond.
Wait,
triangle.
I thought
So
you
think
weren't
that
allowed to. I've been told by every
The
partner.
married man is admitting some things.
I'm not
about-
allowed to open my. I've never opened.
Don't
my
look at me. Don't look at me.
Brandon's got a welding setup.
He has the Cyclops visor that's blacked out.
This is. Wait, do you guys wipe when you sit down? When you sit
Okay, all right. We want to get to the kind of the main question, or one of the big questions coming out of this episode, and it's been addressed in some tweets and different stuff like that. But like, where are Storm, Logan, and Morph in the post-credit sequence? Right, we see a group of mutants in the distant past. We see a group of mutants in the distant future. A couple left behind in the present. But those three characters unaccounted for.
And they were on the asteroid as it disappeared. to
What if they're
time.
in the Axis?
the axis of time?
Yeah, I mean, that could, because remember, Nathan and Bishop got separated.
Right.
Something separated the two of them.
And we saw in the original animated series, Bishop was like in the axis of
time,
time,
dealing with
and
all that.
He meets Immortus,
Yes.
who is a KANG. So that character has been established within the animated series.
I think we've got the established leaders already with Gold and Blue Team, so I assume it's just Storm is with the timeline opposite Scott.
So she'll just pop up.
Yeah, I assume we just was supposed to be wondering, but I think just narratively it's going to be the wait, he's in the past, so the future.
So
no,
you
he's
put
in the future,
Wolverine,
past.
that would make sense.
Also Egypt. I want Storm.
if you put
to-
Wolverine and him and Morph
Yeah.
in ancient Egypt while
That-
he's just basically still dying.
Storm with her Cairo history and
Yeah.
also like leading.
Well,
and then
and technically, both the future and the past were Egypt.
true.
Yes, true,
Yeah,
true.
But
I think they're in ancient times personally, but I mean I like the Axis idea for playing.
Bo DeMeo, who bless his heart, has been tweeting through it. Man, that guy can't.
The
can't
James
get
Gunn of
off,
television.
Can't get off X. But he
That might have been the problem.
okay. People were asking him where are these three characters, and he did confirm that they are in one of the two timelines. Here it is, and then they are in one of the two timelines, so either the future or the past. And then somebody asked, "Yep, they are in the past," and he said, "No prize." Now, that sounds like that's Bo DeMeo saying, "No, you're wrong. They're in the future."
a no prize is a Marvel thing.
Yeah, it's a Marvel thing when people used to write in answers to questions in the comic books. No prize meant you're right, but you don't win a prize. So that's him basically confirming ancient Egypt.
No,
I
modern,
think.
right?
No, because
Now, can you read it? Can you pull it back up again? So Storm, Wolverine, and Morph are in the future.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
the
with
future.
Cyclops.
Yes.
Yeah, they're in
and
the
everybody
future.
else.
It
is
also
in the
like
past. Yes.
balances out the
Yeah,
number
because
of
there were
people.
fewer people. We only saw Scott and Jean in the future.
Oh, that'd be
that
so interesting to
there's
trap them
equal
together.
numbers. Well, also you mentioning certainly that post-credit scene in the present day on Genosha, kind of hinting at Gambit getting resurrected to be one of Apocalypse's four horsemen of death.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that those three characters didn't get shown. 3 + 1
Yeah.
= 4.
Wait, which
Wolverine's been a horseman.
Morph, Wolverine, and
Storm just went through a whole walkabout experience. Morph is always like the sinister stuff. I mean, that could work.
Look, Wolverine as a horseman, he goes berserk.
Especially this is Bone Claw
This is
Wolverine.
Bone
Yeah,
Claw.
feral Wolverine.
Coy's favorite
Oh, I
Wolverine.
love the bone claws.
Feral
Ask
Wolverine.
me, I read that one
Gambit
series.
is about to be at his full power level before, post, not at the sinister thing that just restricted him, because Apocalypse wants him to be at his full potential. So he's about to be out here just messing X-Men up. It's going to be interesting what happens.
Also, a really OP character that doesn't use his power aggressively is Morph. Like, you saw how much he could do for cameos. But
Yeah.
also, like, he can take everyone's physical strength and use it
Yeah.
against them. So he'd be a powerful horseman if that's the case.
Also, do you think, if I can find the train of thought that I had, I'll find it later.
Okay.
I lost it.
Well,
back in.
and if we have to, assuming Gambit's death, I mean, Wolverine's a pretty great war. Now, that means Storm and Morph would have to be Pestilence and Famine. I don't know that works out perfectly, but I guess you could find a way to make
I feel like they're pretty loosey-goosey with the horsemen. A lot of times. They've run through quite a few horsemen over the years.
Sometimes it's Ric Flair. Sometimes it's...
Mongo McMichael.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, a deep cut.
Shouts out to the wrestling nerds. We got it. We got it.
Okay, so a little bit more on that ending. On YouTube, user Lucas1658 asked, do we think there's a small possibility that it was KANG who sent them through time? He said he followed that up with largely uninformed, but just asking because does Apocalypse have time travel abilities?
Thanks to the celestial armor he does.
Generally, like in the early continuity where he hadn't really been established yet, he didn't. But by the time he's fighting these guys like he is, he's pretty much KANG powered plus other stuff. Yeah. His like ability to grow and shrink, and he's got. If you play the video games, he's got every power. So I think it's very much canon.
Yeah, that's all. Go ahead, Brent.
Well, it's like a very comic book thing where all these villains they create a great villain that's like a universal threat.
Yeah,
like Galactus, and they're like, well. I mean, in theory, he wouldn't keep coming back.
Can't just have legs all the time. So we gotta find another
showing up. So it's like Apocalypse is like, yeah, he's the first mutant. And he's just been waiting, and he's been in stasis, and he woke in, and they battle, and they stopped him. We're just gonna have to come back again through time.
I don't think KANG would be it because you've already given too much. Like, yes, when you hear time, that's who you automatically think about. But again, if you go back to that whole axis of time situation with Bishop, that it works for him because Apocalypse was messing with time. So that's why I figure it's just Apocalypse. You bring KANG in, you got to go through the whole... Look, KANG may be part of it in ancient Egypt because those look like Ramatut soldiers that Ensign Banur was fighting. But I don't think...
I feel you, because I feel like the coordination Marvel... MCU would have to do with the animated series, also, and knowing the delay, and knowing they were writing this years ago, and they were probably like, "Hey, don't touch KANG."
Obviously, the animated series has already used Apocalypse back in the '90s run, but like, he's a great X-Men villain. You need, and don't you think they're gonna like find an excuse? They've already brought back Sinister, and whatever, right? Like. Yeah, we want more of those big X-Men villains.
And them using Bastion shows that, like, we want to do X-Men villains. Like, having Bastion show up is a very X-Men is
the move.
And teasing Onslaught is very
that was my thought that came back. Thank you. You brought it. The Onslaught thing. Yeah. That is still on the table.
Yeah,
especially with all that Mind Palace stuff.
In the same way that the first half of this season was like a misdirect, and there was a lot of just like general evil humans and Sentinels and whatever, and Bastion didn't even show up as a threat until the back half. So maybe like next season is a lot of heavy Apocalypse with maybe Onslaught coming in at the second half, or
especially
vice versa,
if there's a 5-season plan. Like I could easily see the betrayal of Charles and Eric having this inner turmoil throughout the beginning, and then that's another cliffhanger. But I also think Apocalypse is more logical to be the big bad for the most part because of how central the X-Men show was. Like, I talked to the top, like, Spider-Man would pop in, but it always felt like X-Men. And even in the comics, it always feels like Westchester is way farther than New York City than it really is. Like, that 2 hours is like, they're going to stay over there. And they should with the movies, too, I think.
It's great to go 5,000 years in the past or 2,000 years in the future because there ain't no Avengers in either of those places.
Also, real quick, it's also like just when you see Asteroid M coming down, right? Remember, the X-Men are there, but here go Tony and Cap looking. Everybody's watching this, and nobody does anything. Again, X-Men stay essential and central to everything. So Apocalypse being that central dude, I think Bastion worked because you started seeing the Sentinels, right? The evolution of it. Doom is going to be, I'm running Latveria. I'm here. KANG is going to be somebody probably later, just like Thanos will come along later. Because I could really see them bringing in Thanos for this.
I can also see Onslaught being season 3, and that's when you have all these other shows that have gotten greenlit now.
By that time,
And then you've got the Heroes Reborn stuff. Because then you've got a Spider-Man show. Then you got a Fantastic Four show. And
Iron Man.
How insane would that feel if those shows have been greenlit, and then down the line we get a team up like Avengers?
Yeah, but then we're going to get that Mandarin with the
No, they know better. No Fu Manchus. Not even animated.
That's what I didn't want to say it with the
Well, why don't we pivot there? We kind of already mentioned this, but like I liked your take on it, that the Nathan that we see in the future, right, is that young Cable, or is that the clone of young Cable known as Strife, who is basically evil Cable, and in a lot of the comics is created by Apocalypse, going to be a vessel for Apocalypse to download his consciousness. What do you guys think?
That would work. Seeing Apocalypse in the past. Yeah. This is the age of... Basically, we're doing Age of Apocalypse in past, present, and future. So that being Strife, to have Apocalypse, to have him work with him, fits perfectly with them meeting Apocalypse in the past and Apocalypse in the present, resurrecting Gambit. So I think it may look again. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If we're wrong, we're wrong. But it fits the whole way.
To jump on that point, I also think that we had that moment at the end of the episode that showed present X-Men that are not present. Like we saw Kitty Pryde in canon for the first time.
Yeah,
we saw
Shadowcat.
Yeah, Shadowcat in the old school suit.
Yeah.
We saw Gambit. Gambit dead, but presumed dead was on everybody else. We saw Magic. We saw Colossus. So how great would it be if we saw the team we met this whole first season are split between time, and then our present time has all these new mutants, not the new mutants, but the ones we've always wanted, and then you have a villain in the future that is Strife. That way it doesn't get redundant. Then you have 3 apocalypses. You've got a past apocalypse, a present apocalypse, a future Strife.
Right.
Not a
Not apocalypse.
That way you've got 2 in 1.
Yeah.
It makes more sense narratively to have a different villain, so you're not just like through time this guy, and more like he's pulling the strings. He's more of a
Did you just
Palpatine.
vaudeville
I
this?
did. I had to. I didn't want to see any vaudeville. So
Okay,
that's
cool,
what it felt like.
cool.
But I think that'll give us so
Can we
many.
go to Evan, please, because he's vaudeville.
But that's also like the comics where you got different runs, right? You got different teams, different runs, different.
Just because you mentioned it on the topic really quick, Ronan Unchained asked, do you guys think we get Kitty Pryde in season 2? I need Kitty to be a part of the team.
Almost guaranteed.
Well, and on that note, we were going to talk about this later, but that's a good transition. Who do we want to see in season 2 that we didn't see in season
Bobby
1?
Drake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely
he
feel
also
like we
showed
were
up on
missing
that board. Yeah.
It'd be cool to have an old school member rejoin too, like why he left and like the legacy of
Yes.
X-Men.
Right. I mean, Mystique. I want to see Mystique.
Am I the only one that's still thinking that Val Cooper is Mystique?
Yes.
Or do you think Mystique was one of the off-limits characters? We know Deadpool. We've heard that Deadpool was off-limits to the team. Do you think Mystique maybe in this kind of like lead up?
But like,
I feel like they should do the same thing they're gonna do with Wolverine and just like Mystique's important.
She's important
but she's
to
not
this.
Jennifer Lawrence. All the screen time she got.
Yeah.
like Jennifer Lawrence made Mystique bigger than the character was in those movies.
Don't do
like Hugh
that.
Jackman.
Rebecca Remain did it. Don't do that.
No, how much screen time did Rebecca Remain get?
Still,
How
Rebecca
much screen
Remain
time
did
did she
it.
get versus
I
Jennifer
will give
Lawrence?
it more to
You both
Rebecca
have-
Remain.
you
They
both
cast
have
an Oscar
points.
winner and then she was on screen all the
both
time.
have points.
Mutant and proud, but I look like Jennifer Lawrence. You weren't that proud. You weren't blue.
That's hilarious.
I got questions.
Show
You
me
weren't
the
that proud.
real you.
I mean, the
real you.
But remember, the next scene turned back to Jennifer Lawrence.
Perfection.
I think the character got bigger because of the cast, like Hugh Jackman.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
but I still want to see Mystique.
Sure.
With
I think she'll be
the
there.
skull belt and the white dress.
Hell
please.
yeah,
Thank
dude.
you.
With the Aaliyah dress.
Thank you. Thank you.
Other characters, Brandon's.
I mean, I am excited to see Magic too, for real, not
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
As
cameo Magic, but
and like going nuts.
going
Magic,
nuts,
too.
man.
Yeah.
Doing like Dark Child.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some weird, obscure ones like Chamber or other members of like Generation X or
Yeah.
X Factor, like
Be-
some deep cuts.
It would be interesting in a
want
show set in the mid '90s, right? If they start getting into characters that weren't introduced to the late
The
90s,
characters
Yes.
set in the 90s.
but it's kind of in canon,
yeah.
right? Yeah,
I'd love to see them all.
Havoc's got to
Generation
show
X.
up because
Havoc,
we're
yeah.
getting all the summers, right? We've got Alex, we've got Scott,
We had that Vulcan tease.
we got that Vulcan T. We got to get Alex. We got to get him.
They showed
He's
him on
gotta-
the board.
He's on the board.
Yeah.
He's got to actually. I understand because he's on the board. He's got to be there.
I'd also love to see Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch because they got teased so
Yeah,
much.
Polaris
I think
got
that-
teased too.
Polaris
I
also
think
on
the
the boat.
three of them being there, but being kind of grayed out, like so that we just focused on Rogue. That's purposeful, right?
think
I
so.
want to see Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
I want to see like what this show would do with Scarlet Witch. Now, a character that's gotten a lot of MCU live action attention in the last few years, but I still think like this show's take on it would be really.
Will they give her an
interesting.
accent?
Ooh.
I also think if we
fading
have
accent?
if we ever catching up to the
Every
time the comics were around, it'd be cool to see Banshee and Emma leading a team because the present day is without leaders.
Isn't Banshee dead? Was he?
We did see him get vaporized.
He got vaped in
Oh,
Genosha,
yeah.
remember?
Genosha.
Yeah, Banshee's
Hey.
gone, bro.
Yeah,
come
and,
back.
well, and seeing like Emma Frost take over the Hellfire Club now that
Yeah.
Sebastian Shaw is dead.
Yes.
That'd be some good stuff.
I think we're all glossing over a fan favorite character that definitely needs to make an appearance. Say it with me.
Glover?
Forget me not.
Forget me not. That's right. Well, I mean, pretty natural. We
Who?
forgot him.
James really disappointed in
He
me.
was in this season.
Very disappointed in you,
I
Evan.
forgot him.
Glob Herman was too, right?
Yeah,
Briefly.
Oh, Glob Herman up out of here.
Yeah,
I wanna see him catch
he
on
was
fire.
he was living his best life on Genosha. You know,
Until he
those are like
wasn't.
the happiest days of his life.
Everyone.
I can be me
Yeah.
and free, chilling.
Oh, he had friends. They were dancing. Oh,
And then the Sentinel was like, ugly mutant. He's like, why do you say ugly?
Yo.
Did we see multiple man die for sure? Did we see his body? Oh. Jamie Madrox. I want more Jamie
that'd be
Madrox.
I don't
fun.
think we saw him.
I don't think we saw strong guy's body. I don't think we saw.
He was
multiple man.
alive after. We saw Strong Guy after.
Rebuilding.
In the
He was
cleanup.
doing, but yeah, he was still doing the cleanup, so he
And
did.
Forearm, the silliest name mutant ever. The guy with four arms named Forearm. So yeah, we got options. Yeah.
But before we move on, we wanted to shout out some of the folks that helped us bring this episode to you. We've made friends over the years with a really cool fitness brand called Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat. Unprompted, Jay happens to be wearing one of their shirts
Holy cannoli.
today.
That's amazing.
That Jay met those folks at a convention
At LA Comic Con.
Yeah, they are an LA-based brand, but they go to a lot of the cons and stuff like that. They're fans of New Rockstars. We're fans of theirs.
Damn right.
And they make this really. All their designs are really cool. It's like a fitness brand. So it's like t-shirts and trunks and stuff like that. But they're like very like food and body positive and stuff like that. So it'll be like lots of ice cream and pizza mixed in with like pop culture motifs and like dumbbells and barbells and stuff like that. And like I'm not doing a good enough job describing because they're also just really cool graphics. Oh Jay's gonna just show us.
God.
Yeah,
Flats.
Hell yeah.
Kind of fat's great.
And then I think we did a collaboration design with them, our second, based on it's inspired by Star Wars. I think we have an image, or no, I have an actual shirt.
Oh.
I wore one earlier this week, and I haven't done laundry yet, so I didn't bring it.
Damn.
Camp,
Notice.
eat, walk. It's little Ewoks, but like the moon is a kettlebell, and there's little like dumbbells, and they're eating cookies and whatever. They do a lot of cool stuff. This is coming out next Friday. I just found out next Friday, but you can follow them on Instagram. They're a good follow there. Head to their website, kindoffitkindofat.com, to check out all their designs. And we'll remind you, but tune in. Last time we did a collab with them, it like sold out in a day.
The Ninja Turtle pouch,
yes,
the Muscle Mayhem one is amazing.
Yeah, nobody was even able to get it. It was so popular. So if you'd like to explore that or look at any of the other designs, kindoffitkindofat.com. And then speaking of fans of the channel, we also have made friends with this company, ZRX. They make a running app called Marvel Move, where they have all kinds of different things that you can like listen to while running. There's like a Hulk storyline, a Daredevil storyline. There's a Black Widow storyline that is on my to-do list. But both Brandon and I have been doing their Thor Loki Couch to 5K in 8 weeks program because we, along with Eric Voss and maybe some other people at the channel, have all taken a blood oath to run a New Rockstars 5K. At some point, I think we're close to setting a date in June, but none of us were running.
Set a date.
Yeah, none of us were running, but we've decided to start doing it, and we've been using this app, and it's a great time. Like there are the storylines are really fun. Also, the app kind of tracks your progress and tells you what to do, and like you can go back and look through your workout logs. It uses GPS and all this kind of stuff. It's great. It's a really fun app. They're fans of New Rockstars. They worked with a bunch of veteran Marvel creatives to craft these storylines. You should check it out. Head to the link that's on screen or in this video's description and use code NEWROCKSTARS for 50% off your first month. It's an affordable app. It's not a huge financial commitment. And then tune in. We're going to record the race. We'll have to shoot me crossing the finish line, and then there'll be a time lapse when Brandon crosses.
No cheating.
Sometime the next day when Brandon
shots
finishes.
fired.
It'll be like the sun slowly setting,
Time lapse
and
photography.
rising in the morning as Brandon crosses the finish line.
You gonna let him do that to
Give me
you?
that episode of The Office.
You know,
It's gonna be intense.
I know Zach needs a win in his life. It's been a hard couple of years for him, and he's looking to have a victory.
That
And
Kendrick Drake beef's nothing on the run
this
here.
might be his chance. I don't know, but all I know is he's afraid.
Hey, big pen energy, okay? That's all I got.
That's
okay?
it's gonna be good. A little euphoria, a little family matters, a little push-ups. I'm excited to see this.
Little Not Like Us.
That's the end. That's the run across.
Let's cross finish line.
I want to see who gets it.
There's no one saying anything about push-ups.
It's just running.
This is a running thing, right?
And then finally, we want to shout out our friends at Doomlings. This is a fun. I left the game in the other room, but it's a tabletop board game, and we're going to talk about it more tomorrow. You can use this code to get the game. I've just learned to play this game, and actually, Evan and I, and maybe some other folks, are going to play it on stream tomorrow, Friday. The 17th, is that what tomorrow is? Which you should check this out if you're the kind of person that likes tabletop games. It's a simple, fun one that like you can learn in 5 minutes and play with family members or friends or whatever, and kind of a more casual game night. It actually kind of plays into some of the topics we've been talking about, because so basically the game is like the entire story of humanity, and you're trying to evolve really quickly before the world ends. It's kind of the general gimmick of it, and you do have little cards, and it's a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to playing it on stream tomorrow. But thank you to Doomlings and Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat and Marvel Move for sponsoring this show. Okay, Evan, sorry, the question you wanted us to get back to.
Oh, yes. Kadosha 2 asking in the YouTube comments, within the 6 months between E-Day and what we saw on the end of the episode, what else might have happened in that time?
Interesting. Yeah, so we were chatting about this just a little bit before, right? Like, they made the choice, because when you have people going thousands of years in the future and in the past, like, you could have kept... Earth present the minute after the asteroid disappears.
Right.
They chose to jump forward 6 months. We know that, Forge has been building a big board of missing mutants or whatever.
No, like craft or anything, just the board.
Yeah. He didn't figure out a technology to
That's it.
I invented a new printer.
I went to Kinko's. I did this
I
myself.
invented a new type of blue.
But what do we think has happened in that 6 months besides some people throwing flowers out in front of the X Mansion?
The Friends of Humanity have gone crazy because, as you heard in the radio broadcast, Graydon Creed is in the lead to become president of the United States, which means smaller level mutants have been tortured in cities. It's probably been like the superheroes, the Brotherhood and things like that. Magneto, Avalanche, Toad, Blob, Pyro, all them probably been running roughshod.
I think the seeds Bastion planted are now flourishing.
They're flourishing.
Like we're seeing the Friends of Humanity in the Operation Zero Tolerance storyline, but as it evolved,
it evolved through that 6 months.
So I'd say they're winning.
Now, do you think most of the people that could tell the story of Bastion are now far flung in the tides of time? But like Forge knew what was up. He's still in the present. Is nobody listening to him when he was like, all of this disaster was caused by...
I mean, they're going to listen to a mutant.
Yeah, right? That hates
and I guess
at
the end of the day, is humanity going to look at...
Hey, bro,
Bastion was a mutant too, right?
What's up with your leg, bro? That's what everybody keeps saying, look at the Forge. Hey, what's up with your leg, bro?
I guess, Bastion was also a mutant, right? So they'll be like, this is all mutant badness, right?
Is he a mutant, though?
A mutant.
He's mutate. Can we say that?
I think they'll just see it as like, we were safe, mutant showed up, we're not safe anymore.
Right.
Like, it'll just be easy to be bigoted. Like, that's what the world of X-Men is trying to defend people that assume you're bad because of the way you look. So I think it's already a bridge too far. They saw this fight happen. Like, they cheered Magneto saving them after they launched missiles at him. Like, Operation Magneto was a go. And then as soon as he saved them, like humans don't care about optics. They just know that they're bad to them. So I think it's too far gone without anyone to defend them.
Yeah, I think it's definitely... This is a thing that could unite Homo sapiens against the mutants in an interesting way, in a very much Watchmen-esque way of like Ozymandias creating a fake alien to unite the world to work together. Like, this was a world threat, and not only the asteroid coming down, but the shutting down of electronics, crashed a bunch of planes and created all these problems. I'm sure a lot of people died as a result of that. So I imagine like a lot of countries have united kind of in mutant hatred.
And that's
but I think them showing the mansion with the things out front that say like, thank you, essentially, that are like kind of praising the mutants for saving them, shows that there will be like a contingent of people who are like, this is wrong. But I bet, yes, the governments and stuff are moving forward.
You'll have the humans who are like hiding humans tortured. You know what I'm saying? People
right, helping mutants, like humans helping mutants and stuff like that. I mean, the Avengers showed that there are a bunch of cops working for the government.
I love that
when the president was like, hey, we're going to blow up the asteroid, they're like, yeah, fuck those mutants.
Captain America said like 2 lines. It's like, maybe don't
blow it up.
Maybe don't.
Iron Man is like, well, I can fly, and I probably have rockets, and I could like go try to push that asteroid off.
And they're like, nah, they got it.
Cap said, hey, listen, we don't know nothing about this.
We're not
That's mutant business.
I got serum in me, okay? This man's just rich and smart, okay? Ain't no mutants
and
here.
if it don't work, if they can't handle it, hit that button.
Blow
Hit that
them
button.
up.
Blow 'em up.
You got the Fantastic Four. You got the Avengers. You don't need the X-Men. Blow them up.
It would be interesting. And, the fact that those faces on Forge's board, very purposeful, must be, right?
Oh,
if
Do you
those
think they drew the faces or they're headshots?
well,
I think when you go to Xavier School, they have to take a photo.
They're all shaped.
Those are class
the same.
photos.
It's not like they're like
Class photos.
handed.
It's like
you know what I mean?
those are the same photos they use for like Employee of the Month.
Oh, yeah.
Driver's
the
license.
The
Everything.
yearbooks. I think it's the yearbook photo. They play them
When
on
Charles comes to your house as a kid, he takes a photo.
Did anybody ever explain how Sunspot got a suit?
He stole it.
Think about it.
I know he went to Muir Island, right?
Well,
No,
no,
he had one before.
Because he was at the X Mansion and he's like,
But he had a
"Who's this
generic-
little
Is
fuck?"
that is that when like him and Jubilee went to the mall?
I think he's so rich he just paid to make his own.
He's like, you know what,
And
I
he
feel
showed up
left
in
out.
it, and they're like, it's actually blue and yellow, and he's like, oh, not black and yellow. Oh,
I guess somewhere. I
guess,
I
that's
don't know.
Evan, did I see you tickling a trivia card over there?
Yeah, I just wanted to know which of the Avengers is regarded as the world's greatest marksman.
Hawkeye.
All right, that was Brandon. Okay, great. So
What about Barry?
from the Twitch chat? Ray Ray, Yar Yar, and Ricky Riz asking questions.
Excuse me,
about
say that name again?
All one name?
Ray Ray, Yar Yar, and Ricky
Oh,
Riz.
I thought it was one name.
They're asking questions about Logan and Storm. So, do you think Storm and Ray Ray Yar Yar specifically asking Wolverine, Storm, and Morph? Do you think they landed in Japan? That has to do something with the Miramasa blade, or do you think Logan and Storm are back in love in a different time, just like they alluded to in one of the animated series arcs?
There's got to be a reason we keep seeing Silver
Yeah,
Samurai.
why do they keep showing Silver Samurai?
There's got to be a reason we keep seeing
It
them.
is interesting. Yeah, multiple times we go to Japan.
Because
to see
once
Silver
in one
Samurai.
episode is something.
It's just
but then
showing the
going
world,
back,
but showing it multiple times.
because
I
they
imagine-
purposely showed it waking up Omega Red.
Right.
And then you get Omega, Dark Star,
Yeah.
Crimson Dynamo.
I wonder if they cut. Sorry,
No.
I wonder if they like cut a shot of like the Sentinels in Japan and Silver Samurai.
I think Wolverine
stopping
has to
them.
relearn how to be himself, and who better to teach him?
Oh, and they
Then the
get
Silver
it.
Samurai.
Right? Like Wolverine literally has to go on a walkabout, and he would go to where he feels comfortable and safe, like the Frank Miller arc in Japan.
Yeah.
He becomes,
What if Storm just takes Wolverine to Forge's house and it's like, okay, let's give me a
Fix it.
bird.
Yeah.
You're gonna find a bird, Thurston, and you don't
Trust
need to
me,
ride
it's
these
for the
horses.
best. But I could see there being, I mean, what I would love is a Wolverine spinoff, so you don't make it Wolverine and the X-Men. But I think there could be a whole walkabout subplot, either a B plot of the X-Men show or a separate Wolverine story of him learning again.
I mean, also, could he go get some adamantium back?
Silver Samurai. The blade, like the forger of the blade, could, depending
Yeah,
on
but
the
it's
canon,
only the suit because they can't do.
get it in him.
Yeah, because only Apocalypse is gonna do the get it in them. That sounds so Paul's worth it. But
I'm gonna be in the clip with
Zach's face is the best shit as Zach.
I have to be in the
Big
clip.
pen, and it's the right color, I assume.
How many of these did you buy?
Yeah, I'm impressed.
This is another one.
It's a different one.
I bet on Amazon you had to get bulk order. You can't
he's
just
like,
buy one.
87.
You could get 2. You had to get about 20.
But I like that he pulled out one the color of Apocalypse's lips. He's like, by the way,
Wait.
little Magneto.
But I can see talking to Silver Samurai to understand who you were as the warrior.
And that's why they teased him so much, right?
Yeah,
like,
he has
I
to
can
be.
see that.
He's got, but as far
And
as the
Kitty
adamantium,
Pryde. You could have the Kitty Pryde, like, bringing him back from the depths of darkness. Like,
he's gone so crazy.
Yeah.
I just want to know.
No nose.
The animation that's the part. If he don't have no nose,
maybe no
it's all
nose.
pointless.
He's got the bandana, no nose.
I want to know what the animation for me, what it's going to look like with his bone claws, because they can't come out as fluidly as the blades.
Don't they have
did.
like a joint in them too, which never made
all
sense to me?
weird.
And,
They have
like
a
they're very
knuckle in
ragged.
the bone.
They're not like it's not like
Yeah,
a
they're
femur.
jacked.
Irish Warthog was asking, what if Wolverine's bones and bone claws are as strong as adamantium naturally, so he didn't have to get toxic heavy metal poisoning? They're probably
Dumb.
That's such a funny
See
idea.
heavy metal.
I mean, I see the point. We all want the bone claws to be cooler than they are, but
Yeah.
they're not.
I mean, technically, it helps him. Like, even though like the adamantium it began bonded with his healing factor, as we all know in the comic books, it kills
Poisons.
him.
Yeah.
It poisons him.
This audience was real mad that I didn't like bone claws.
I mean,
so believe it me.
the only thing that's good about the bone claws is that it eventually led to that great line from Stryker in like X2 when he's
Yeah.
like, "You always had your claws."
The one good thing is
You
that
always-
one line delivery.
You always had
Right.
the claws.
also unrelated. In which country is Busan, where T'Challa attempts to apprehend Ulysses' claw?
Which country?
Say that again.
In which country is Busan?
Oh,
T'Challa-
South Korea.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Train to Busan was about X-Men 97.
Yeah, you just switched
And then
over.
tried to
Now we're
organic
doing it. We're
just threw me way off.
trivia
This is why
questions
these
in.
trivia questions are so hard. Hey,
I was like, Claw was in this series.
That was also
Right, that's what I was thinking. I was like, what?
I saw Black Panther, obviously, but where was Clawsy in the background?
Sarah Hatch-Dorian asked, what was each host's favorite plot twist throughout the season?
Oh, that's a great question.
okay.
Sinister not being the bad guy. Because they made it seem like it was going to be him. And it was like, okay, because we started seeing him, once we started realizing Morph was still going through his PTSD. And then when you saw Madeline, the Jean Grey Madeline Pryor thing, you're like, oh, we're really doing this. Then you get the techno-organic virus. You're like, oh, they're making Sinister somebody until Genosha happens. And you hear, hey, no, he working for somebody worse. So you got to wait on that one. I think that one for me, because you didn't know who the bad guy was in this.
Yeah.
You never knew. Like Bastion, is he? Or again, people would say Magneto is, but again, Magneto was right.
I would say Xavier is. That's the beauty of it.
I would say Xavier is.
I'm gonna. So sorry.
No, I'm done.
My favorite would either be one of two misleads for comic fans. Either I thought we were getting Cyclops was right, and so they built up this whole he's gonna be like this rebel.
Yeah.
And then when he was like, "What would humanity do?" I was like, I did not expect OG Cyclops or the Onslaught fake out. Like I really liked that we thought we were getting Onslaught down to like the imagery in Magneto's head, and I really nobody's talking about it to scale, but I really love the inner turmoil of the waves and how Xavier said he had them too, but also that he was reflecting on his own life, and water is reflective, and it was a tool to reflect and have turmoil. There was this beautiful imagery that paralleled Xavier and Magneto that would have been perfect to set up Onslaught, and then instead they let us like dangle a bit. So I either the mislead with Cyclops was right or Onslaught, just because they felt like impactful.
I like the way they did Madeline Pryor's story because it was different than the comics, and like when the clone shows up, or Jean shows up at the house, but she's already there, and you're like, oh, this new one will be the clone, right? Yeah. But instead, Beast is like, no, she's the clone, and you're like, oh, okay, this was very tricky, and like I thought that was like a really clever way. Honorable mention to Mojo being able to put a Motendo unit in the X Mansion. All that happens, and it's like, we don't got time to deal with this.
We ain't got time to explain all this.
Yeah. we haven't talked about it
They're
enough.
like, well, we wrapped that up. No mention of Mojo.
Yeah, that Motendo half episode obviously was all of our high points for the season.
It was great, but it was a very funny, classic X-Men animated thing of like,
random
this
Saturday.
crazy thing happened, but we're never going to deal with it ever again. We got bigger
Won't
fish
really
to
be
fry.
justified before or after. Maybe, I don't know that, it's not really a plot twist, but just the thing that like, when I think back, I didn't see coming and had the biggest impact on me. I mean, Gambit's death.
Yeah.
Going through Genosha and not undoing it by the end of the season.
The weight of it staying.
We talked
It's
about
like
that.
one of those
Yeah.
things where it's like, oh yeah, well, he really wiped out on the island. All the mutants, were fine, right? Like
That's
no.
M-Day.
We talked about it right after the episode when we did the review. It was like, maybe they'll do this whole thing where Cable's constantly trying to go back, but find out it's a fixed point. And then it was like, no, it's a fixed point.
And then they show a skeleton through like the Xavier experience.
Yeah.
Of, like, I love that it felt like an actual death. We had to grieve for him.
Yes.
Speaking of, I think it was Coy or somebody said Magneto was right. I just want to shout out.
Me.
We have a shirt for sale at nerdriot.shop.
There you go.
Magneto was right.
That's great. I like that.
Given his full, I'm floating asteroid M with my power
In bad
face.
bitch glory.
Yeah,
Yes.
what a glow up. I love they cut to like old him, like younger him, and he looked great, and then he like got a better mane as he aged. Jealous.
A lot of people asking questions about like what the lineup will look like next season and who do you guys want to see. We kind of talked about that, but Ryan Thelion 3690 asking this. Who do you think will be the new leader of the X-Men next season? If you want to pick one leader for either any of those timelines, who do you want to see like kind of take the leadership spot? I really like this season where Storm and Cyclops were at the end. We're like, we'll offer the olive branch.
I'm really intrigued to see just like what next season looks like. Like, I mean, they could reunite the team by episode 2 in present day or whatever. I don't think they will, and I would love it if they don't. And like, do you think like every episode we spend 10 minutes in 30, 20, 60, and 10 minutes in the past and 10 minutes in the present with these kind of different groups? Do you think like we might do a 3-episode arc just in the future and then come back and see what Bishop and Forge are up to? Yeah.
So the show has done this already, and I wondered if they'll keep doing it. The intro card. Remember, the intro changed. Magneto was in it at first. They took Gambit out.
Added Nightcrawler.
They added Nightcrawler. So it's like, how will that change? Will they look different?
Yeah.
You know, it'll have the theme and it'll be all their names, but like I think that'll tell you who's who.
Yeah.
I love that idea. I think they should do an episode in the past, episode in the future. I mean, obviously, whatever they want to do. If they want to do it like what's the Cloud Atlas, where like the emotional through line carries you through time. Everyone's a big Cloud Atlas fan. Wachowski's best, obviously. But no, like Cloud Atlas had the emotional through line bring you through time periods, and I think the X-Men have more than enough characters to do that. I think they should stay separate for a while because then you can have 3 times the number of characters.
And this show is shown.
Grow the X-Men.
They did a 3-part finale, right? Where it's kind of like one storyline over 3 episodes. So they could do that. They could just spend 3 episodes in ancient Egypt, kind of developing that, and then revisit and see similar things, and then kind of finally bring them back all together for a
That's
final
what the
run.
series is known for doing that too. If you look at like every season of the original X-Men series has a 3, 4, 5-part arc. no matter what.
It's like the comics. It was serialized.
Yeah, it was all serialized. So it's known for doing that. So I think if it does that, it go in season 2, 3, and 4, we shouldn't be surprised. It's used to doing it.
And it might be better than us getting like 4 minutes of a certain timeline per episode and feeling like it's
hard
not
to
moving
invest.
forward. And and
I don't think we can get Kitty Pryde if the team was this big. I don't think we can add all those mutants we all want to see if we live in one timeline.
I wouldn't mind if the first segment is just the new characters in the current timeline figuring out what the hell to do. And you get invested in them. And now it's Storm and Wolverine and these characters you care a lot about.
They're just going to the bank trying to get a hold of
a loan.
money.
Figuring out checks. How do we sign this?
It's like, all the pipes have burst.
They're like, now you want Charles Davis money? The guy who was dead and then not dead and then back.
Sure,
yeah, nice try.
Coy, before you leave, what do you think about this? Obi-Wan Kenobi asking, could Apocalypse try to make Madeline a Horseman too?
I think that's a strong possibility because Jean needs someone of her power set to be an antagonist. So I could easily, and they kept mentioning her. I felt so bad for Jean by the end of the season. Even Nightcrawler, even like Sweet Kurt was like, I know you're not Madeline. I'm like, bro, let her be Jean.
Let her live.
I think so. I think Madeline.
Cool.
Does she get to wear a Goblin Queen outfit?
Because that changes season 2.
All right.
Ooh, and a
bring in
horseman,
Havoc and put him in the Goblin Prince
Havoc
outfit.
and Madeline's.
That's what I want to see.
A horsewoman in the Goblin Queen outfit? I'm here for it.
But I do have to scoot, so thank you all so very much for wanting me here for the finale. I so appreciate it. I'm going to go interview the directors of this very show, so I got to leave early. So thank you. Hunt me down on YouTube. I just posted a video ranking all of the X-Men movies. But thank you guys. I love this audience, and you guys have been great in the comments. Send me stuff. I'll answer them there.
Hunt him down.
Brandon, a lot of people asking if you can explain the difference between an asteroid, a meteor, and a meteorite.
Okay, yes.
I don't know what...
An asteroid is an object floating in space with not a fixed orbit. A comet has a fixed orbit as well as a tail. A meteor, it breaks Earth's atmosphere, comes into the atmosphere. Now, most meteors, they skip off the atmosphere or they break apart.
Yeah.
If it hits the ground, meteorite. So Asteroid M became Meteor M and then went back to Asteroid M.
And it could have become Meteorite
It could have become Meteorite
if Magneto didn't wake up.
Technically, in the old show, it did become Meteorite M.
Yes.
And then Magneto, this show.
Oh, yeah, he pulled it up out of the water.
So
yeah.
Put some respect on its name.
The other big difference, asteroids got belts.
This is
How
true.
dare you? How dare you?
This is true.
How dare you?
This is true.
Because they're not always meteor enough to hold their pants up. You know what I mean?
Oh my god! All right, how about we close out with some of the of the 23 questions?
Why is there another pin?
Because he couldn't order just one. They come in a gross.
There's another pin.
All right. Dashiell's dying over there. Okay. All right. So everybody, take yourselves out of X-Men land. Put yourself back in the theater seats for the.
Can we just put up a graphic too, indicating that Coy left because he was too afraid to answer these questions?
Please do.
All right, Brian. That's up to you.
He was scared.
Where does Captain America keep his photo of Peggy Carter?
In his crotch area of his pants.
Wait, it was on a desk or in an office, wasn't it?
It's in a locket.
He keeps it in a little compass. It's a compass.
I'll take pocket. It's a pocket watch.
It's a compass. It's not a pocket watch.
This says pocket watch.
Oh, maybe it is a pocket watch. I thought it was a compass. Didn't Peggy give him a compass?
Oh my.
Dude, I don't even. Okay.
Ask the question.
What object stolen by Hydra are the Avengers trying to recover in Age of Ultron?
The
scepter.
The scepter.
The scepter. Hydra stole the scepter?
Yeah.
They did. Baron von. Yeah, in the very beginning.
Baron von Strucker.
From Doctor Strange, who is also known as the Destroyer of Worlds. All right, that's one for Jesse.
Thanks, Jess.
I was like the Annihilator.
Yes.
That gives
by a lot.
You don't have to think.
In Captain America: The First Avenger, this one's really tough. What metal is Captain America's shield made?
Vibranium.
Okay.
Wait, let me think. It's not titanium. Not aluminum.
In Avengers Endgame, who rescues War Machine, Hulk, and Rocket Raccoon from the destroyed Avengers compound?
Thor. No. Oh, fuck.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, Giant Man.
Giant Man. Yeah, I'll take Jay. In Iron Man 2, what is the name of Tony Stark's father?
Howard Stark.
In all of them.
Does it change? Does it change?
Yeah, they reckon.
I guess do we not hear his dad's name said in Iron Man 1?
Iron Man 3 is Howie Stark, and then
Okay.
H.J. Stark.
Age of Ultron is Huey Stark.
I just want to shout out real quick. I have a bad memory for all movie trivia in general, though I love movies. And all the people that gave a shit for not knowing that Gollum dies at the end of fucking Return of the King. Yes, okay. I just didn't remember. That movie's 20 years old.
Zach, you're supposed to remember like it's yesterday.
This is why Zach is trying so hard to win this 5K.
What?
By any means necessary.
From Iron Man 3, what is the name of From Iron Man 3, what is the name of the genetic engineering program developed by my
Extremis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, from Iron Man 3, what is the first name of Dr. Hansen, who goes to work for AIM?
Ooh.
Maya.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you just said Maya, Evan.
I'm flying through these questions, okay?
Only Iron Man 3 questions.
And
Christmas. Shane Black.
From Ant-Man, what is the name of the company founded by Hank Pym?
Oh,
Him?
ex-con security.
No, Hank Pym.
Oh.
Pym Industries?
Pym Technologies.
Yeah, Pym Technology.
Pym Tech, yeah.
Not Pym Industries. Pym Technologies.
In Captain America: Civil War, what is contained in the Red Book that Colonel Zemo claims?
The words
the activation
activate
code.
the Winter Soldier.
Jack.
Boxcar.
In Captain America: The Winter Soldier, what is the name of the SHIELD headquarters in Washington, D.C.?
The Triskelion.
Yep.
Nice.
I would not have gotten that one.
In Endgame, when the Avengers travel through time to seek the 6 Infinity Stones, which stone does Black Widow seek?
The Soul
Soul
Stone.
Stone.
Yeah, she saw it, didn't she?
She saw
She-
that.
You know what she saw? The fucking ground.
Yeah.
She saw the ground approaching at a rapid speed. Yeah.
In Iron Man, by what name are Tony Stark's captors known?
Tony Stark's
10
what?
rings.
Yep.
Oh, captors.
Wow.
Captors.
In Avengers Endgame, what is Stormbreaker?
It's
It is an axe.
Yeah, okay, that's...
What?
It is the axe. It's the axe.
Oh, this one's actually tough. In Thor: The Dark World, what is the name of Jane Foster's date in London?
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Didn't we do this
I
one?
think we did this one.
But
like a random
it's
dude.
not his, it's like Greg or something. It's not,
Doug, Greg.
yeah, it's not Thor's real name in the comics when he was like.
Donald
a human.
Blake.
It's not Donald Blake because that was someone else.
Yeah, that's Jess. Jess, who do you want to give your point to?
Whoa.
Richard?
Okay.
Because
Thank you.
it's what's his face from that thing.
In Guardians of
from
the Galaxy Volume 2,
Bridesmaids.
who sacrifices himself to save Peter Quill during the escape from Ego?
Who sacrificed?
Yondu.
Yondu.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
I'm Mary Poppins.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
I'm Mary Poppins.
Let me do your best, Yondu.
I'm Mary Poppins, yo.
You be lucky I didn't eat you.
These are all bad.
Do yours then,
Do
Jessica.
yours then.
I'm not the one on camera.
You don't get to say it. You don't get to say
I
it.
would have killed this entire room with that impression.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
It's not a good impression, but it's funny as
It's
hell.
not a good impression. I don't even know who it is.
All right. Okay, last 5 here. Iron Man 2, what is Whiplash's real name?
Ivan
I didn't
Vanko.
go.
Yep.
I want my bird.
Bird. Where's Bird?
I want my bird.
I build Bird.
I'm just an old beat up piece
What
of meat.
object, and from the Captain America: The First Avenger, what object does Steve Rogers use to defend
Taxi
himself?
cab door.
Nope. When confronted outside a cinema.
Oh, the cinema.
Confronted outside. A trash can lid.
Yeah.
They use it as a shield.
Oh, because I know
Like a
he
cute
uses,
little
and he
skinny
also
boy.
uses the.
Yeah, but you
I jumped.
you got blocked out.
I got
Jeopardy rules.
In Avengers: Age of Ultron, who helps Tony Stark create the Ultron program?
Banner.
Yep.
Yeah. Real quick, answer
His supreme intelligence.
Did you guys see that Amazon is doing a pop culture Jeopardy where you
Yes.
compete in teams of 3?
Oh, it's in teams of 3. I thought it was just regular person.
No, it's teams of 3.
Yeah.
Three.
New
Let it
Rockstars,
be.
we're thinking of trying to put together a new Rockstars team.
Yeah, Zach tried to kick me out of the
Yeah.
group.
No,
It was
I did
pretty
not.
Brutal. Right in front,
Right in front of my face.
dude.
Zach, you would be the worst at it.
All right, now,
Damn.
well, based on these trivia.
No, we need Zach for sports. We
I
need
know.
Zach for
I
sports.
thought, yeah, I don't know if they count sports as pop culture.
That's pop culture.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah, and I know music. I
Who
know other
was
stuff.
recently roasted on a Netflix live special?
For way too long, it was Tom Brady. 3 hours was too long.
Okay.
Name 5 NFL players accused of beating their spouses.
Which team?
Per team.
Bird?
We're going into overtime, folks.
Avengers: Age of Ultron, who destroys Ultron's primary form?
Vision.
Nope.
Is it Iron Man?
Nope.
Who destroys? Oh, the
Scarlet Witch. Jarvis.
Scarlet Witch.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
No, but
that's what the card said.
the primary. Oh, I guess the primary form because
The original one, yes.
Vision
yes.
Cook's a little
Yeah.
side guy.
All right, last three here.
They're gonna be the slave.
In Thor, what is Jane's last name?
Foster.
All right,
Evan.
that's everybody.
Evan.
Is it canon that Jane Foster and Bill Foster are related?
I don't think so.
People
No.
have the same names, dude.
I don't know.
Yeah, because there's what's his name and what's his name?
That didn't help at all.
The Val's husband.
Ross?
Yes.
Everett Ross and Thunderbolt Ross.
Thunderbolt Ross.
How do we know they're not related?
Because they're not related.
Has it been stated?
Yes.
No.
And the comics has made very clear that they're not related.
But MCU? Well, I'm just saying, wouldn't it be great if Lawrence Fishburne plays Natalie Portman's uncle? Dad? I don't know.
She's like, where were you? You were never around. Who's this ghost daughter that you have?
You've been raising this little ghost, bitch.
But Ghost is not his
I know, he
biological
doesn't
daughter.
That's- I know what they
That's
say.
what's so fucked up. He doesn't claim his
You've
own
been raising this little
biological
ghost, bitch, and I've been needing you. Little phasing in and out ghost, bitch. Where was you on prom?
Fair.
I was getting big. I can't stop getting big.
In the Avengers, who is Bruce Banner referring to when he speaks of the other guy?
Hulk. He said, hey, I put a bullet in my head, the other guy spit it out. Hey, first of all, if I was the Hulk, when I just spit it out, I'd be Banner, I'm gonna fuck you up on the inside. As soon as I go back in, it's over.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. Closer. It's getting there.
It's getting there.
All right, in Iron Man 3, what new nickname is given to the suit worn by James Rhodes?
War Machine.
Nope.
Iron Patriot.
Oh, yeah.
Becomes the Iron Patriot.
And
You want
last,
to be the War Machine? Go ahead.
last one from Ant-Man. Who owns a van with a musical horn?
Luis.
Yeah, Louise. That was everybody. Well, just looking at the number of cards on my desk, I gotta say, I think Jay won.
Yeah, good job, Jay.
Thank you. Do I get to give a speech?
I
Listen.
can't believe Coy was too afraid to.
Listen, I want to give my speech real quick.
Okay,
Okay, excuse me. I like to do this a la Source Awards. Giving honor to God who's the head of my life. Past the mother to Suge Knight. I wouldn't have a career without you. Diddy, you stay over there.
Ooh.
Like, I said like the Source Awards. Okay, I'm done.
He's done.
Hey, if you don't want the executive producer, I love dancing in your videos. Very famous Suge Knight.
Very famous Suge
He
Knight.
knew. He knew about Diddy
He
back
knew
then.
about it.
Why didn't he hang in outside
Well,
of a window
he
then?
should have. That's right.
Should have run his ass
Poor
over.
Vanilla took the brunt down, right?
Vanilla Ice caught that one, yep.
Okay.
Wow. Hey, thanks for playing.
What an episode. Thank God Coy left. Just kidding.
Yeah, hey, I think that's it.
I forgot to mention this, but I would like them to bring, leading the X-Men that they have now, I would love Emma Frost to get involved. Because she does become part of the school. I wonder if they'll take this opportunity to bring the school back a little bit. And whatever kind of
a formal school.
Yeah, because now that mutants are really persona non grata, they're gonna be like, oh, we gotta save these kids.
It's funny. I know.
Get them together.
This is not how.
But this could introduce the cuckoos, which I would be very happy to see.
Yeah, we know you're
in animated
cuckoo
form.
for cuckoos.
Cuckoo for cuckoos.
This isn't how this show works, but man, they're setting up so much big plot stuff for the next season. But you're absolutely right. I wouldn't mind 4 episodes of just daily life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind if these were 25 episode seasons. Sometimes animated series
they used
will
to be
do
very
these
long.
huge orders. Because I could just spend so much time in this world.
Yeah.
You know? Who knows? Maybe
I don't think they expected everybody to catch on and hold on to it like it has been. There were people who were fans of the original cartoon, right? But if you see this and you're like, I think they might like it. And now if you're Marvel Studios, you're looking at the social media responses. You're like, maybe we might give them 2 extra episodes or 3 or something like that, boost it up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I hope they do. It would be good. I am a little afraid that they're going to see this and be like, oh, we got to restart all these old shows.
Yeah.
There's a lot of love for the Spider-Man, but some of the Iron Man show was it's okay. The Silver Surfer show was weird.
Silver Surfer should have never had a show.
Yeah. I mean, there would be diminishing returns, and I don't know that we want that. But and I also think, unfortunately, just because of how long these things take to do, we probably won't get a season 2 of this show till maybe like 2026.
I can't imagine they turn it around in a year.
Yeah. Now, though, I
like
wouldn't doubt if
Invincible
that
takes
does
them a
happen,
while.
though. I wouldn't doubt if they like maybe greenlight season 2 and 3 at the same time, and we get like season 2 2026, season 3 2027.
27.
You know,
They're working on 4 and 5 at that time.
Because he hasn't. Kirkman said they've tried to speed up Invincible a little bit because they were able to get ahead a little on writing. I think.
well, that's it. And those are short seasons.
They're a little shorter, but and longer episodes because they tend to be more in the.
But also,
45
there's
minute
way
range.
more. There's way more action in the X-Men
Yeah.
episodes. Like we do get those big scenes in Invincible with the fights and whatnot. We get sometimes it's like a 4 or 5 minute chunk. But you're getting these episodes where these powers have to be shown in so much detail.
And we barely talked about it because we were kind of focusing on questions. But the action sequences in this show, even the fight, the final Bastion fight, where it goes from like Rogue just going hard on him
They
to
all
like
get like a piece of
to like Nightcrawler, you know, to Cyclops, like, and that was just and then Jubilee. That was only like 4 of them teaming up. We didn't even really get to see the full kind of breadth of the team.
Yeah,
being
working
used
together. Even.
When they blew his face off and you still saw he was still part human because his jaw was open, I was like, yo, okay, this is what I need.
It was great. I mean, the way action was realized and like how creative they got with these characters' powers being used was like awesome. We can't wait for more. I think that's a way to put a pin in it. We might talk more X-Men 97, though. We'll see. Hopefully we get some renewal notices sometime soon, and that gives us an excuse to chat more. But other than that, anything else we should call out, Evan?
Nope. Just we'll stick on for Twitch for a little bit.
Great. Thank you so much, everybody. Follow Jay on all social media platforms to keep up with all his great work.
Thank you so much, Mr. J. Washington. Please, you're watching this now. Shout out to everybody that does. After y'all watch this, y'all start following. I see my numbers go up. So please, follow. Thank you.
Yes. And follow the Breakroom here on YouTube or Twitch or wherever you're watching this to catch up with all our stuff. Man, June's going to be a fun month. It's right around the corner. We got The Boys Season 4. We got Star Wars Acolyte. We got House of the Dragon Season 2. And then that's going to roll into July when Deadpool and Wolverine hits. Oh, my God. Wow.
Are you okay?
It's just... And then San Diego Comic-Con. Feige's going to take
Same
the stage.
weekend.
I feel like you are about to explode when you say, come.
I mean, it's so much. It's like, ah!
I hope that sigh got picked up on camera.
Hope that sigh got picked up.
Jessica with a pained sigh in the back of the room. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you on the other side.
Bye.
Later, skaters.